Please subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an update.
Hello everyone! Today on Lady Mary Beth, we are shopping MAM Resale's Store Reset Holiday Edition. We'll get in the Christmas spirit with some great finds for home, entertaining, and gifting. Join me.
They have cleared out the store over the weekend with a half-price sale and brought in all new items for us to discover for the holidays. You can find MAM in Spring Branch, located on Blaylock. They're open Monday through Saturday, and St. Christopher's Resale is across the street. You want to make sure to visit both stores. And they also have evening events on Thursdays. Follow MAM on social media, and you can join in their fun events and live sales.
Welcome to Memorial Assistance Ministries Resale Shop, where your shopping dollars benefit families in need in the community and their job training center. It's a great way to shop affordably and sustainably for this season. We'll discover some great finds for home decor, tabletop, and gifting. We'll also set a Christmas table. Let's get started.
A treasure trove of vintage hand-blown glass ornaments. You may recall during their Christmas store reset last year, this baker's rack was also filled with vintage ornaments. Well priced, $10 for a set of 4. You pay a lot more at an antique store. These are authentic from the 1950s. Last year, I met a customer who bought all of the vintage ornaments for a tree for her lake house. And this is a great opportunity to find them affordably. There are also some new items here, including an Anna Lee ornament for $6.50. This is Anna Lee Thorndike, who founded the company in the 1950s. El Arroyo, the sign that is so famous, the me that buys groceries and the me that cooks, are two different people. I can relate. Lots of things to trim your tree and an item to add to your barware.
New holiday items are featured here. Some are vintage in the original packaging. A tea towel from Royal Standard, which would be great for a hostess gift. And this vintage find, glass drink stirrers. My friends at Baker's Barware, who have a booth at Heights Antiques on Yale, they tell me that the red in these drink stirrers means that it is even older and more valuable. $4.50 is a great deal.
Brand new ornaments with a Mikasa label. These were donated by a local store. You could build a tree around these snowmen or use them as package ties. Amazing finds in this section, including some items from the 1950s and 60s and sterling silver ornaments. I wonder if you collect these. I would love to hear from you in the comments section. You might find a pattern or year that is special for your family. And if you're missing some, you could reach out to a silver purveyor. Angevine's Fine Silver in DeLand, Florida, and Augusta, Georgia has an incredible collection. You could always reach out to them and they can mail you one. The Waterford Crystal Harp would be a nice addition to your angel display. $30, what a deal. That is an older piece. See how it sparkles and shines. A wonderful addition.
The Gorham Silver Manufacturing Company is a trendsetter. They date back to 1831 when Jabez Gorham founded the company in Providence, Rhode Island. They were the first to introduce the annual ornament that started with a snowflake in 1970, and all the other silver manufacturers soon followed suit by 1971. This is the Buttercup annual ornament cross. I'll tell you more about the history of this pattern. The Buttercup pattern launched in 1899 and was made until 1950. It has intricate floral motifs, scrolls, and leaves. Has a large variety of serving pieces in the sterling pattern since it was so popular. Let's have a look at that hallmark. You will see the lion passant for sterling silver, the anchor and G that represents Gorham. This was the 2000 annual ornament in the Buttercup pattern.
This star is from Towle. It is priced at $50 and it is double-sided, which not all of these are. That's a very special find. $50 from the year 2000 from Lunt. Love that. One is prettier than the other. I can see a tree filled with sterling ornaments. $35 for that one. And $38 for the Reed Barton from 1998. I might take a few of these home for our James Avery tree with silver ornaments.
These sterling annual ornaments are well priced, $38 and up, and most of these are no more than $55. The newer annual ornaments start at $175 retail, and we find them for about $160 on the secondary market for those missing years. I've also seen folks wear these ornaments as pendants, and that could also work well. Would make a great gift.
They have quite a few from the year 2000. This is priced at $50 from Reed Barton. The Christmas cross, that is an extra special one. And I suppose that was very much celebrated with the millennium. This star is from Lunt. Happy holidays. I'm loving that. That would even go with a Texas themed tree. We're the Lone Star State. Another one from Lunt from 1999.
$38 for this Lunt sterling annual ornament from 1999. Happy holidays engraved on the back. This I could see as a pendant.
These Santa mugs have a bit of character and history. I will tell you more about how these were introduced, and a great vintage find. They are priced individually. You could add one as a decorative element or place a collection in your hot cocoa bar, $25. And if we turn it over and look at the back stamp, it gives us some information on the maker, which is so important when we're doing our research. And there are newer versions out there, but I like the vintage find.
Santa mugs originated with the Holt Howard Company in 1949 as part of their decorative Christmas line. By 1951, the Riddell Pottery Company of California created their version of the Santa mug. These are in great condition. I like the multicolor. We can add these to a coffee tea bar, put peppermint sticks inside. So many ways to incorporate this whimsical and historical vintage Santa mug.
This angel is a mid-century beauty. It is priced at $28. If you have one of these in your collection, or you happen to see one at an estate sale or a thrift shop, and it's affordable, you need to pick it up. It has an interesting history. And if we turn it over, we see it is musical and made in Japan. We'll see more of these items coming up at KT Antiques and Katy.
A budget-friendly decorative art form with mid-century vibes. This is Chalkware, which is made of molded and painted plaster of Paris. It was an affordable alternative to the higher-end ceramics and porcelain, quite popular in the 1960s.
In the original box, we find Shiny Brite Christmas tree ornaments. These are made in New York and originally priced at 98 cents. And they are a bit higher because they are in the original packaging for $75. The hand-blown glass ornaments we saw as we walked into MAM may have been Shiny Brite, but they were not in the original packaging. I'll tell you more about the history.
The nostalgic Shiny Brite ornaments that we mostly remember from the 1950s. This company was established by Max Eckhart in 1937, a German immigrant who had previously imported hand-blown glass ornaments from Germany. And with the impending war, he found a new source for production with the help of the Corning Glass Company. The Shiny Brite name lives on. In 2001, Christopher Radko acquired the trademark. He makes reproduction Shiny Brite and similar packaging.
And you can also tell by the ornament holders. If they are scalloped, they are usually authentic and Shiny Brite. You may remember seeing some of the holly green at the Bluebird Circle's Christmas launch. We found some mugs, and I shared the history. And we will talk about that again. And maybe you even saw these in a Sears catalog in the mid-century.
Vintage Christmas ceramics from Lefton. This is a company started by George Zoltan Lefton, a Hungarian immigrant, in 1941. He had some Japanese friends who helped him post-war to make connections with China manufacturers in Japan. His earliest pieces were marked "Made in Occupied Japan." The green holly was sold in the Sears catalog, and at one time over 10,000 stores in the United States sold Lefton ceramics.
1970 to 1971, my brother and I were born those years. I don't remember growing up with the Lefton, but I will be looking for this at estate sales. $75 with the original packaging, a pair of reindeer ornaments. And those could be added to your holiday display to pull the sleigh. Fun and festive. We're finding a lot of vintage items and even more collectibles from the 1950s and 60s. The Noel, priced at $75. It's from the 1950s and is made by Lipper and Mann. Ceramic candle holders. And these beauties are made by some familiar companies. Here we see Lefton again, $30 for this figurine. Made in Japan. A lot of Lefton items that are from the 60s just have the stickers. Hand painted, the double F means Fitz and Floyd. And this sweet figurine is a deal at $20 from Goebe with the original price in German marks.
Christmas nostalgia with these ceramic figurines, with this candle set from the 1950s, Lefton, vintage Fitz and Floyd, and Goebel. This is the same company that produces the Hummel figurines, has a candle incorporated into the design. And if you look at the base, we have some very specific information. West Germany, that predates 1990, and the original price in D-Mark, German marks, 19 Mark 80. That is about $11 or $12 in today's money, and this would be a nice holiday addition.
Some festive additions for our table setting. This wreath could also serve as a base for a centerpiece. The ruby goblets are showstoppers and very well priced. Red goes with most seasons and celebrations and would always be in season for $5. What a deal.
I'm starting to see some Christmas table setting inspiration with these ruby goblets. This is from the Artland Company in the Iris Ruby, hand-blown glass. These are sold for $50 each at replacements. They are $5. That will be perfect for our table. It's a company that is known to follow global trends, and they specialize in glassware.
This cardinal candle holder is something I remember from the 70s. Here we have a newer version of the Santa mug. It can be ready for New Year's Eve with the ice bucket. And those gold trays could also be the base of a centerpiece. Lots of ideas, but I think we have found our dinnerware. Merry and bright.
More table setting inspiration with these Christopher Radko dinner plates. Radko is a brand you will recognize for the hand-blown glass ornaments. He also makes some dinnerware. Letters to Santa. This collection is retired. It was made from 2006 to 2011. These plates are $35 each. They sell for $120 at replacements.
It's like waking up Christmas morning. Villeroy and Boch. This oversized creamer could be used for salad dressing, for a luncheon buffet, syrup for brunch, or tea time. A very familiar pattern with that beautiful Villeroy and Boch back stamp. I have saved my 20% off that I've accrued from purchases, and I will be using that today. This could also be a centerpiece.
Some Villeroy and Boch finds, a company that has a history dating back to 1748 in my husband's home state of the Saarland in Germany. This is the creamer to one of my patterns that I have in Houston and also at our home in Germany. It is rather whimsical, but yet has a classic look to it. The Toys Delight and Toys Fantasy patterns were launched in 2010 by V&B. This is $10. It sells at Macy's for $40. That is a great deal.
It is a huge savings off of retail, especially with that additional 20% off. And I can hardly wait to incorporate that into our holiday display. And I don't have to hand carry it home from Germany. Even better.
With the success of the Toys collection pattern with Villeroy and Boch, they have added lots of decorative accents. If you go to the factory in Mettlach, you see an amazing Christmas store. This is for a votive holder, tea light candle, and you will notice it has some openings here in the tree. It radiates the light. It's a great addition to your tea table. This is currently on sale at Macy's for $117. The price today is $70.
If you're invited to an ornament exchange, this is a great source when you can buy something for as little as $1.50. This mission reminds of the Alamo. We will also see the seasonal area and Christmas shop with lots more, and a wooden nativity ornament. The gold chargers will be ideal for those Christopher Radko plates, and vintage glassware is dreamy.
The anchor hocking forest grain sherbet dishes were made from 1940 to 1964 with a clear foot and a rich emerald green bowl. These were marketed in 1954 at a price of 25 cents each as ideal for the extra special gift and for enjoying at parties, buffets, and for television snacks.
Green and gold are the perfect pairing. Can hardly wait to set our Christmas table with those fabulous dinner plates. Here's another great option. This dish pattern carries you through the winter. And each plate, cup, and saucer has a different scene, and they're priced individually. $3 for the mug, and for the rimmed soups, those are also priced individually at $4. Some great colors for building your table. And we see that back stamp by Johnson Brothers, England, 1883. These are made in China.
Johnson Brothers made the Friendly Village pattern from 1953 to 2017. That is quite a long run for a transferware pattern, originally made in Staffordshire, England. It depicts an English village wintry scene.
The England 1883 refers to the history. If it said made in England, you would have a more authentic piece. Another dish pattern that is a casual version of the Lenox Winter Greetings that launched in 1995. This is called their Winter Greetings Everyday pattern. Another great choice for the winter months. And we're finding more and more of this in resale stores. My friend Michelle has the original pattern that she found at the St. Ignatius Loyola garage sale. That's happening again in February. That tray is perfect to celebrate the season, and the cookie jar sold quickly. And these might be great for our table. The blue and white section has a pop of color. These trays are perfect for year-round to display or use And we find Spode and Waechtersbach, and the cake plate is only $4. What a deal.
Some nice Christmas serveware with Spode Christmas tree. We've learned the history of that, designed by Harold Holdway for Spode. This is a great and hard to find item from Waechtersbach, a German mid-century design with that bright red earthenware and iconic Christmas tree with candles. The company dates back to 1832 in Towle with the clay found in the nearby Schlierbach forest. This would be a wonderful cake plate for your tea table.
I'm eyeing this beaded peppermint table runner for our festive holiday table setting. A mid-century pattern and Franciscan apple. This has a distinct shape and style that is reminiscent of mid-century German dishes made by many different manufacturers. This one is made by Rosenthal. And there's also another one here that blends beautifully, also made in Germany. Priced individually, $40 for the soup tureen. Takes me back to the Trödelcenter and Titi International that I've showcased on the channel. And it's a classic look.
Mid-century dishes could be a nice addition to your holiday table. We see these in German flea markets, consignment shops, and thrift stores. Very inexpensive there. These are all priced individually, $40 for a soup tureen. Might be a nice addition.
There's an entire row of Ray Dunn. I believe these were donated by a store. Joy, Fa La La La, and Deck the Halls. A Starbucks mug that might be a collector's piece, you never know. And mugs also make great gifts. Can put something wonderful inside. And this one looks a bit vintage. Let's have a closer look. And I'm thinking this one is extra special. It stands out from the rest. Look at that back stamp. Made in England for $2.
Mugs are fun for holiday exchanges and gifting. You could even place a small surprise like jewelry inside. And some of these at one time may have been highly collectible. This peppermint handled mug from Starbucks is dated 2009. Have you seen their barista mug that is going for $1,500 on eBay? See that in a thrift store someday. This is a Prinish mug from England, which has vintage charm.
Christmas is always in season at MAM, but they have added quite a few more pieces, including Reed Barton silver bells and Hummel ornaments. They have incredible collections that they add daily. A patriotic Santa, and next year is our Semi-Quinn Centennial, America's 250th birthday. And this one is brand new with a tag. Would be a nice addition to your collection. And a great gift.
The holiday season is in full swing here at MAM, but they do have Christmas year-round. You can find some affordable decorative items. This Santa with reindeer is $15.
And we can't forget about the pets. They have a wonderful variety here for us. And the prices are great. You could even create a pet tree with all of these different ornaments priced at $1 and up. Vintage stockings. And this needlepoint stocking is extra special and sweet.
We can celebrate our pets this season with ornaments, outfits, and stockings. Every pet deserves one filled with treats. This needlepoint stocking with the Chihuahua is well priced at $4.50. I might pick this up for my friend Mark for his baby girl named Madison.
You could deck the halls with your pet in mind. Lots of holiday decor. This is made of paper mache, hand painted from a company you wouldn't expect. Fitz and Floyd, made in the Philippines. You could display that on an easel or use it as a base for another creative decorative setting. Some nicer ornaments. Many of these are brand new with tags from companies like Raz. And Happy Everything with a Just Married wedding cake. Brand new, priced at $8. And this is definitely where you want to go to shop for those ornament exchange items. Also from Raz, that Santa is a great deal. And the snow globe with the gingerbread man. These are all just a few dollars. Needlepoint ornaments are the very best. This one has been hand stitched, $2.50. A great find. Baby's First Christmas, also from Happy Everything. And this crystal ball ornament could be Waterford crystal or marquee. A lovely, sparkly addition to your tree. Great find. And lots of snowmen. This one is from Lenox, priced at $8. A Twinkie for $8. It carries the Hostess branding, and they're twinning. That would be fun for someone that enjoys that snack. And this regal ornament is a must-have for $6.50, and I'm using my 20% off today, and everything is a bit more affordable. A ladybug and a patriotic heart from Christopher Radko. I've seen these priced much higher. It's a great deal.
Always thrift for your ornament exchanges. You may find something that is actually valuable, like the Christopher Radko Braveheart. This was made to commemorate 9/11 and is highly collectible. You find this on eBay. It is $15. I'm loving the Proud Peacock.
I see a sequined box that you can hang from the tree and fill with a piece of jewelry. One thing that I'm always looking for in thrift stores. And this one is much larger. You could tuck in a bracelet. The Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore, our favorite Christmas story, for $2. Merry Christmas, y'all. Of course, we have to have a little bit of Texas here in the seasonal area. A Cowboy Santa. And this reminds of the vintage blow molds. And it lights up for $5. It is battery operated. That would be a fun addition. And lots of stockings. You might even find a familiar name. More ornaments. This looks handmade for $1. Love it. I've used ornaments like this to tie on the back of Santa. You could get creative. E for Elizabeth. A latch hook rug and a tree skirt. And this one would be fun for our whimsical tree.
A festive tree skirt for $12. This looks a bit Nordic, and perhaps it is mid-century. Well priced at $12.
It's almost as if a time capsule has opened up with these mid-century finds, priced at $12. This is a great find, and it sells very quickly.
We found some mid-century gems. These look to have been handmade in the 1960s with the Holy Family, and there's one more. Let's have a look.
And we have to look at this other piece. There is such detail. I'm sure someone spent weeks making these, and they proudly displayed them. And it's nice that someone else can embrace these and make them part of their holiday tradition. Such rich detail.
The wise men to complete the Holy Family. I'm loving this mid-century Christmas wall art. Such detail.
We've shopped the store and brought all of these items together for a start for our table setting. And inspiration from the linen section, we found some red and green napkins, a holly table runner, and a red and gold tablecloth. I'm not sure which we will start with. I'm leaning towards the red. I like that it picks up the berries in that holly runner and in that spode Christmas tree serving dish. For the centerpiece, we have added ornaments inside the vase with a bit of snow. We have a couple of options here. It is sometimes hard to choose, but you could create multiple table settings with some of these design ideas. Vintage glassware is a great addition. And of course, the Villeroy and Boch.
Secondhand is brand. Let's take a tour of the table now that we have incorporated all of the thrifted finds from MAM today. And we are ready for company.
Here's a look at our Christmas table setting, complete with the flatware. And if the chargers had been red, I probably would have chosen the gold table, but I like that contrast. And you will see the double layer of the linens. And on either side of the centerpiece, we have placed something of interest, and they both happen to be Villeroy and Boch with a bit of spode on the other side. And the ornament picks work very well in that arrangement. It fits that fun vibe of our dinner plate and the serving utensils here. You could even create several different versions with all of these elements.
It's all in the details. I didn't find any festive napkin rings, but I did find vintage napkins, and I have folded these into trees. I shared a tutorial in a previous visit to the Charity Guild shop of Catholic women. I invite you to take a look at that segment. Now let's get back to the table.
We'll do a quick tutorial. A square napkin folded, and pull those points up in a layered fashion. And then you will flip it. And there's your North Star. And we will take each side and fold it across and tuck that tail inside. And then flip it again. And unless you have a scallop napkin, you can roll up those points if you choose and fluff it a bit.
Vintage glassware is always a good idea. These anchor-hocking forest grain sherbet dishes could be used for a fruit cup or strawberries Romanoff with brunch, chocolate mousse for dessert, or a sip of champagne before dinner starts. These Ruby Beauties are such a great find at $5, and we need that pop of color today. All of the components for our Christmas table have come from this thrift store, including the flatware. They had 4 place settings, which is all we need today for our table for 4. An example of why you don't need an entire set of Christmas dishes. You could add dinner or salad plates for a festive look, and it saves on space. And the glassware is such fun.
Your local charity resale is a treasure trove for tabletop essentials. Such fun to create this setting.
So glad you joined me today for MAM Resale's Holiday Store Reset. We found some wonderful items for decorating, entertaining, and gifting. The Villeroy and Boch is my favorite find of the day. And we had fun setting the Christmas table. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Bath. Elevate your everyday with holiday thrifting.